This is News 6 Tonight.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to News 6 Tonight. It's Thursday. We are making our way slowly into the weekend, which makes me sad because it means our time together this week is coming to an end.
I know you hate the weekend, Ginger. You don't believe that at all, do you?
No, I do. We do enjoy this. This is one of my favorite things that we do
It's one of the
because
best parts of the day for
it's
me.
the first time we really get to sit down and kind of digest what's happened today because all day long we've been going, and we get to kind of take a little extra time to figure out exactly what's behind some of these stories.
Well, if I had told you at the beginning of the day our lead story tonight would be about a crosswalk,
I would go, you're crazy.
we don't
Yeah, what's
usually
wrong?
do that.
No.
It sounds like it would
Yeah,
be
but this is the
boring.
big one.
But never would we have guessed that this particular crosswalk, this is the one, it's was painted in a rainbow to honor the Pulse survivors and the people who were killed that night. And it was overnight removed. It wasn't vandalized by some random person. It was actually taken out by the state government.
FDOT took it.
Yeah, and we had gotten a clue that something like this could be happening. U.S. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy had sent messages and tweets out on this saying taxpayers expect their dollars to fund safe streets, not rainbow crosswalks. So community correspondent Laverne McGee spoke with local leaders about this, and some of them were pretty shocked.
You think it's specifically from the governor?
Of course it is.
Governor Ron DeSantis responded to this video that Smith posted on X saying, "We will not allow our state roads to be commandeered for political purposes." This is what it looked like yesterday. Today, it's black. He says the city and local officials did not get any warning.
We worked hard to secure $400,000 in state taxpayer money this year for the creation of the permanent Pulse nightclub memorial, whose plans include this rainbow crosswalk behind us.
In July, U.S. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy announced the Safe Roads Initiative. His letter says, in part, DOT has strong partnerships with your state Department of Transportation to implement projects that achieve important national priorities. Roads are for safety, not political messages or artwork.
There was a gunman that came in this nightclub and tried to erase my community, and now the governor's trying to erase my community again. It's just it's a slap in the face, and it's disgusting.
Okay, so you might be wondering why the passion that comes from this. It's not, I think some people maybe outside of this area could look at this and just think that this is a political statement or something.
Yeah, but this
crosswalk,
is a story that is well known.
Yeah, the crosswalk's the site of the Pulse nightclub. It's right there
Yeah.
where that happened. And we first were hearing that, they're changing it because it's a public safety issue, that you shouldn't
That was
have other
part of it,
colors
yeah.
in there. And then
Might be a
with
distraction.
the governor's tweet, it came out, you could tell it was because it's rainbow.
And I think a lot of people, it isn't about the rainbow to them. It's about the lives that were lost that night. And at the time Pulse had happened in 2016, it was the worst mass shooting in the entire country. 49 people died. So I feel that a lot of people don't think it's political to them, meaning the people who live here and who lived through that awful time. It's not political. It's remembering those people because not all of them flew a rainbow flag. Not all of them were part of the LGBTQ community. Some of them had family members in, other relatives or whatever. And I just think that a lot of people are hurt because it seems like if you erase something that is a symbol of a tragic event and you want to remember and honor those people, when you erase that, do you erase those people too? That's just, it's some of the conjecture I'm hearing people saying online, that you're taking away the memory and the honor of those people. It's not political.
I wonder what this means for the future, because it doesn't seem like the city has a lot of recourse. They could take this to the courts, maybe.
They could just repaint it.
File a lawsuit, they can repaint it, but then is the state going to come in and repaint it overnight? The other question is, what about other factors? Because the Lake Eola fountain, that turns rainbow to remember the Pulse victims as well at certain times of the year. And at other times,
isn't the band shell painted in rainbow
it is.
colors?
It's painted in rainbow colors
Yeah.
as well. So the question is, like,
Where does it
will
stop?
this end?
Yeah.
Where's it going to go? We'll be following it for you. But
I know, but I just think a lot of people they aren't seeing it in a political way.
there's a lot of
They're
emotions
just-
attached.
Yeah, it's
to
very
that.
emotional. If you were here, as we both were, next year will be mark 10 years that happened.
Yeah.
And I think, and I've just been hearing some people say, why couldn't they have left it until the museum is at least completed, because then you have that memory, that permanent memory of what happened there. So,
Yeah.
of course, it's a story we'll continue
we'll
to follow.
follow
Yeah. Another story that grabbed our attention, we started reporting on this last night. And when I heard it, I was like, why did that guy shoot at this? Allegedly.
Oh, I think this is your story we're about to do.
Oh my gosh. Okay. You know what? It's been a day for me. We're going to get to that in just a moment. But there's this, you never, if you thought I would have started this day talking about, hey, you know what? A power company won some awards. That's not much like a crosswalk. You don't think that that's
Yippee! Wow.
well, Winter Park.
Award-winning power company. I know you told me about this story, and I was like,
Snoozer.
okay.
But it's really good. 20 years ago, the people in Winter Park had the foresight to say, you know what, we want to control our own electricity. And they went to battle with, I think it was Progress Energy at the time, trying to get a hold of, okay, the people in the community are not happy with the service. Every time we get a little thunderstorm or a little rain, the power goes out, blah, 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 blah. Well, they put it to the people for a vote, and it passed by almost 70%. And this was 20 years ago, 20 years ago. And so finally, it happened. And 20 years later, let's look at the results. 2 decades ago, the city of Winter Park made a bold move that many communities only dream about, taking control of its own electricity.
It was a fight because the utility did not want to sell it to us. Several legal battles, arbitration to set the price, but even so, 69% voted in favor of buying the system.
From day one, Winter Park promised its residents more reliable power, better tree preservation, and a smarter approach to infrastructure. That meant investing heavily in putting power lines underground.
We have spent between $5 million to $9 million a year. We're currently 81% underground.
Burying power lines will also prevent these beautiful oak trees from getting that V cut you see right there. But it's also beneficial when we have hurricanes or those daily thunderstorms roll through. Even more impressive, Winter Park has accomplished all of this while keeping rates lower than the big name power companies.
As of the end of May, which is the last report that came out comparing all the utilities, we were 32% lower than Duke Energy.
Okay,
Oh, that's the one right there.
What's so funny, we were sitting on the desk when this story was running. It's a longer version that we run during our newscast.
Yeah.
And you're sitting there as we're watching, and you're like, well, did it work?
How much money are we talking?
Hold on, it's coming.
Put the lead in there, Ginger. Don't bury the lead. So they 32% lower than Duke Energy.
Isn't
That's impressive.
It really is. And, their customers are really, really happy. And as a person who lives in Winter Park, when we have those storms and when we've had past hurricanes and storms, I have noticed that our power did not go out. And people who have buried power lines are really happy about things like that. They were supposed to have had it done by, I think, the end of next year. But because COVID happened and then supply chain things happen too, they won't fully get it done until 2030.
Winter Park has had some times with hurricanes because there's so many beautiful mossy oak trees around that fall on the power lines.
Oh my gosh.
And so they did have a few of those years.
Yeah.
Definitely 08 hit them hard before they got all of those power lines in there. Chris Snyder, good to see you. Go Winter Park. He likes it.
Okay, good. Yeah, and the thing that's interesting, one of our 11 o'clock producer, Ken Pilcher, says, oh, I remember when I lived in Winter Park years and years ago, and the service from the other companies were terrible. He's like, it just went out all the time it's too sunny. Power's
Well,
out.
when you see a success story like that, you have to wonder what other cities are going to try to adopt it. And it's probably be really expensive now if another city attempted to buy out, or and that had to be a special deal they had where they had an option to actually buy their.
Yeah, I can't remember all of the details, but it took some legal wrangling for them to get even the permission to say, like, we want to do it. And then that's when they were able to take it to the people, which was really nice. And there was one voter we had in the story. I hope you watch it on clickorlando.com. He said,
He was my favorite part.
Oh my gosh, Ray Renfro. He was like, it was going to be a boondoggle, so I voted no. And he goes, I need to go down to the place now and apologize to all those people if they're still there. He
one of the
loves
few people
it.
these days
And
to admit when he's
his
wrong.
lines are buried.
That's right, and he's happy about it. Okay, well, let's talk about something that drives neighbors and neighborhoods apart. When people don't clean up after their dog's mess, especially if it's in your yard.
I wish we had the ability to zoom in on cameras so you could just zoom in on our faces, because Wow, if you want to grind my gears, talk about that.
Does it get you? Do you have some neighbors who are
No, I mean,
letting
you
it
just
slide a little bit?
no. I think there are people when you see it. I don't see anyone doing it, but then you see the results of it.
Yes. See
I
the
don't
result on the bottom of your shoe.
know. That's the worst.
That is the worst. So, one neighbor decided to take this into his own hands. 51-year-old guy. The victim in this case describes walking his dog. You know, the dog makes the stuff happen, makes the biscuits.
The dog went boom.
And then he starts walking away, which, by the way, total jerk move. I don't really.
I mean, I don't think you should get shot.
Now, there's a limit here to what we can do. Neighbor up on the balcony of this complex sees it happen, which so many of my neighbors would kill to watch one of my other neighbors try to get away with this. Starts yelling at the guy.
Yeah.
Long story short, they end up meeting in the stairwell. The guy grabs a gun and actually fires a shot. This escalated quickly. Our community correspondent Troy Campbell was there.
I looked at him because I was like, was that a gunshot?
Stephanie Angelone and Alexander Pagan say they were inside their apartment at the Deborah Metro West on Tuesday night just after 10 p.m. when they say they heard gunfire outside of their window.
Take me to the moment where you heard a noise.
So we were just eating food, right? We were eating food and we hear this loud bang. And she's like, was that a gunshot?
Orlando police say when their officers arrived, the victim told them he was walking his dog inside the complex when 51-year-old Cristiano Lamont began yelling at him from his balcony to pick up after his dog. However, investigators say the two began to argue, and that's when Lamont grabbed a pistol before coming outside to the staircase. The report says that's when the victim said, "Are you going to shoot me?" and says Lamont pointed the gun at his face and shot a single round close to his ear.
This was an incident. My client was on his own property. He was on the second floor of his apartment. It was a stand your ground situation, and a motion will be forthcoming.
I think it's a little ridiculous that something that minor can cause an outburst like that, for sure.
No, yeah, absolutely. It's something that it's very Florida.
I mean, I think I don't understand stand your ground then.
I think that lawyer doesn't understand stand your ground. Because you and I have done whole podcasts on the stand your ground law and what it means. It's a very particular definition, and it does not include you leaving your apartment going down the stairwell after grabbing a gun. It means you basically had no other place to go.
Yeah, you're in your homestead or whatever, and that's...
And you leave it to... Yeah.
I mean, I understand. We all feel some kind of way when we see some, and he saw it apparently in action, and then the person walked away. And you know, we've all been in a situation where I've run out of bags, and honestly, I will put something there to mark a spot, and I look around, and I'm like, I'm coming back, everybody. So anybody who's looking, because I'm coming back. Yeah,
Ginger Gadsden, you can find me on TV if I try to get away with it
sometimes. But there are people who have no intention of picking it up. And the thing that's so maddening is that when you walk your dog and you go into the grass to pick it up and you step in somebody else's dog's mess, it just drives me crazy. And then there are kids who like to run through the grass, and it's like, you don't want them all messed up either. Yeah, I know, but
don't do it.
Don't do it, but also don't shoot at your neighbor.
Yeah. If I had to rank the two, I would say I'd rather my neighbor have their dog poop on my lawn than shoot at me. So
correct. Okay. All right. We're going to move on.
Now that we've gotten through all of that.
Coming up after the break, even though Hurricane Erin did not really impact us a whole lot as far as bringing a big storm our way, it is having an impact on some of the wildlife and some of my favorite, the sea turtles. We'll talk about that when we come back.
Welcome to News 6 Tonight. We are so thankful that you're joining us here wherever you found us.
Yeah, you know what this tells me? If you have made this your new streaming destination, it tells me you're smart, also good looking, because you chose to watch the news in a different way. That makes you really smart. Anybody can give you the news from a teleprompter or an old newspaper. We do it in a fresh new way.
That's right. So check us out wherever you like to stream. We have this app for your TV, News 6 Plus. You can find it on Roku and Amazon and whatever your smart TV is cooking. So thank you. We would love to hear your comments down below.
Gosh. Yeah.
And then we'll show them.
Yeah, we will. News 6 Plus. The plus is you.
Ooh.
Welcome back to News 6 Tonight, everyone. You know, we have been talking, it seems like we've been talking about Hurricane Aaron for months now, but most of August we've been talking about Aaron. And thank goodness it is not doing any harm to any land, really. It's a big old giant fish storm. Yeah. But it is impacting some of our wildlife. And I'm talking about the sea turtles because Volusia County Beach Patrol and Turtle Patrol, they're saying that they have lost maybe a dozen nests so far. So they're out searching and seeing how they can protect it. Our community correspondent, Molly Reed, is out in that area. Here's part of her report.
Volusia Turtle Patrol says out of 400 nests along the county, they think about 40 to 50 have been lost because of this storm. Dozens of others have been washed over with sand like this from the tide that they say they still have to wait months to see if it will be able to last. But after a storm, the Turtle Patrol team switches gears a bit, looking for survivors. And when the tide washes sand over where nests once were, they have to use technology to see if the eggs got buried.
We had to relocate the nest with our little geolocator device that we have.
Susie Amaro says previous storms that hit Volusia have already made nesting more difficult. Now the volunteers say they'll eventually be able to dig through the sand to be able to see the eggs down there, see if any of them are viable. They say they have to wait about 70 days from the time the nest is laid to be able to do so.
Just hate to see that happen because they're just such precious and helpless little things. And if you've ever seen them hatch and then scurry their way into the surf,
Have you watched that?
Oh, I've seen it. Yeah,
I've seen it on video.
No, I've never seen it in person.
okay, I
No,
was
but
gonna say.
oh no, I haven't been that.
That would
lucky.
be a cool
Yeah,
experience.
but you know, like we go to the beach a lot, and you can see their nest, and you know they're usually cordoned off, and people are very curious, and you don't bother them. And where I'm from in Charleston and Folly Beach and all beaches, you turn your porch lights off so they don't.
Red, you turn them red or
Something so they don't think it's like, oh, there's the moon or the stars, because they navigate by that.
Yeah.
So hopefully they'll be able to locate more, and they're already saying the damage in part of North Carolina is substantial as well because they have lost a big population of sea turtles.
Yeah, I
there
hate
this
to
time.
see that. It's terrible because they're not ready to hatch yet. So when
No.
the water sucks them into the ocean.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
And I
it's
know
gotta
we
be
talk about
food for the other creatures.
No, we talk about how lucky we are, but then we think about the other things that are impacted too.
Yeah, very true. Hey, how about we throw a little breaking news into the show tonight?
Yeah,
Does that
let's
sound good
do
to
it.
you, the folks watching?
Yeah.
Let's throw up this. We got some video in just as we were walking onto set. There's a brush fire taking place in Micco, Brevard County. The fire rescue there tells us that 8 to 10 homes have been evacuated.
When you see the video, you'll understand why those homes were
If you see
evacuated.
the video, you'll understand why. All right, there it is.
Look at that.
So yeah, pretty crazy stuff. We're gonna have a lot more coming up on News 6 at 10 and 11 o'clock. But you know when you
wow.
get that glowing sky and that
Yeah.
thick black smoke, 8 to 10 homes evacuated along that road. Fire crews are trying to figure out if storms rolling.
They
through the
think
area
lightning may have caused it. Yeah. So we're going to bring in meteorologist Jonathan Kegas to talk about what the weather looked like in Micco at about that time that these fires started. Jonathan? Uh-oh, we can't hear him. We're going to...
Hold on one second, Jonathan. We're trying to get your audio sorted out.
Gotcha.
Oh, there it is. Now we can hear you. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sweet. Certainly could have been lightning. Lots and lots of thunderstorms around Micco. They were exiting the coast at about the time that they say the brush fire got ignited. So certainly plausible for that to happen, as there was, lots of lightning along the Space Coast tonight and really a lot of Central Florida. They're still considered abnormally dry as well. They're one of the areas that were still hanging on to drought status even a couple of weeks ago. So they could use some rain. Of course, every time we get thunderstorms, you run the risk of sparking a fire with that lightning.
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason that Florida is called the lightning capital of North America, because anytime you do a forecast and we have storms and you turn the lightning strike feature on, it is lit up.
It's wild, yeah, and there were a lot again tonight, so I would not be surprised in the slightest if they officially ruled this a lightning strike, because there was a ton around Micco tonight. Just glad that it looked like no one was hurt and everyone's gonna be okay there, because that looked like a monster fire.
Yeah, it was pretty big, and so big, in fact, that were you seeing any of the smoke on your radar tonight?
Yeah, it was wild. So I took this loop about an hour. So this goes from about the time it was reported just after 5 o'clock through about 7 o'clock. And what looks like rain there is actually the wildfire smoke or the brush fire smoke being picked up by the Melbourne radar a couple hours up the road or an hour up the road. You see it blowing back out to sea. So all the rain and thunderstorms are long gone here, but the smoke was so intense and so high up into the sky that the radar was able to see this. And you can clearly see where the darker returns are, the yellows and the reds there. That means that there was a lot of junk being lofted up into the sky. So really, really thick smoke that the radar was able to pick up. So a scary situation for sure earlier tonight.
Yeah, Jonathan, if only there were an app that had a way we could detect this going on in the area.
Yes.
Like, is there?
Do you mean, would you mean the
I'm trying to do a
News 6 app?
shameless.
Wow. She's
By
teeing it up
chance?
for you, Jonathan. You just have to hit the ball.
I think you might be talking about that app. Yeah, lightning detection. It is key. I mean, not only for stuff like this, but you're waiting in the car line in the afternoon. You gotta make sure you're hightailing it into the car or into a building. Can't be waiting for your kids outside in a thunderstorm like that. Very dangerous. And that app, as Ginger alluded to, it's very, very helpful. It's a free download.
It is an elite parent move if you're waiting in the car line and you get the alert that lightning might be close, and then you can sneak in and grab them before the lightning comes, and they shut the whole line down.
Oh boy, you want that intel early.
You do. Got to get it early.
And we'll get it for you.
That's right. Meteorologist Jonathan Kegas.
Jonathan, thank you.
You're the man. Thank you very much. All right. Well, do you think it's a good idea to release some more mosquitoes into the state of Florida? That's what scientists are doing. We're going to tell you why after the break. Welcome to News 6 Tonight. We are so thankful that you're joining us here wherever you found us.
Yeah, you know what this tells me? If you have made this your new streaming destination, it tells me you're smart. Also good looking, because you chose to watch the news in a different way. That makes you really smart. Anybody can give you the news from a teleprompter or an old newspaper. We do it in a fresh new way.
That's right. So check us out wherever you like to stream. We have this app for your TV, News 6 Plus. You can find it on Roku and Amazon and whatever your smart TV is cooking. So thank you. We would love to hear your comments down below.
My gosh. Yeah.
And then we'll show them.
Yeah, we will. News 6 Plus. The plus is you.
Ooh.
All right, and finally tonight.
You want to put your mic in front of your face there, amateur?
It's my first time using a
Listen,
microphone.
guys, I'd like to talk to you about something.
Finally tonight, we know are you a person that it seems to attract mosquitoes? Because mosquitoes either love people and they bite them up, or
My daughter, Sawyer, they come after her like
it's
gangbusters.
and it is a big pain in the neck, the arm, the butt, wherever they bite you.
The butt,
It's
did you say? What is wrong with you
You
today?
go swimming, you're in the pool, you don't get bitten.
You
by
don't cover your butt.
well, you're in a bathing suit. The whole thing's not good. Anyway,
All right, get it together.
so there's a project happening in South Florida. We did a story on this a while ago, and it's now expanded where they are genetically modifying mosquitoes. And you think, okay, they're releasing more mosquitoes into the wild. Why would you do that? Wouldn't that just create more mosquitoes? But here's a quick explanation as to why more mosquitoes aren't spawned from this.
Here we go. Oof.
There are dozens of species of bloodsuckers in South Florida, including the nuisance salt marsh mosquito found in mangroves and in the Everglades. But it's the Aedes aegypti that carries diseases like Zika and dengue.
It's the one that vectors the diseases that we worry about.
The males, shipped from a company called Mosquito Mate, have been infected with a bacteria called Wolbachia. When they mate with females,
they'll find the local females, they'll mate with them, but the eggs that she produces are not going to be viable.
but they won't be able to produce.
Exactly.
That's how they do it.
Mm-hmm. They lure them in, take them down with a mate.
It's always a lady.
It is a lady. They'll get you every time.
But no, but then they release them and it gets rid of all the, gets rid of the other mosquitoes, which is a big, big pain because mosquitoes, we always like to use this fun fact. You take a bottle cap, like from your bottle of water, and fill it with water. And that is a breeding ground for mosquitoes. Any kind of standing water is a breeding ground, and especially this time of year because we're seeing a lot of rain out there.
Mosquito hot tub out there.
It really is, and you don't want it.
They love it. And whatever happened to Zika? We could do a whole show on that. Remember, we were talking about it every other night on the
Pregnant
news.
women were terrified.
Yes,
when
they
talked
were,
about
and now we don't talk about it anymore. It just disappeared.
I don't know what happened because it was going to impact the babies and make them,
It's going to be okay. Have a good night.
All right, bye.
Thanks for watching.